Shavua Tov. So we are beginning our High Holy Day season in earnest tonight with Selichot. The word slicha in modern Hebrew, it means excuse me. So when Lucas stepped over his mom to get to his seat, he should have said slicha. So the word slichot means pardons, forgivenesses. And that is the purpose, the meaning, the tenor of this service is that we are beginning the process of asking God for forgiveness, but also asking each other for forgiveness. Because remember what we are taught on Yom Kippur, for sins between human beings and God, Yom Kippur will atone, but for sins between human beings, Yom Kippur will not atone until we have asked forgiveness from our fellow human beings. So that is what we're doing this tonight, is starting that process of kind of thinking about, was there anybody that I harmed inadvertently? Let's presume it was inadvertent. And to whom I need to ask forgiveness, and even maybe just generally ask for forgiveness from the people in your family, in your friends network, in your community, because you never know when you may have inadvertently said or done something that hurt somebody's feelings and you don't even know about it because they didn't say anything, and maybe they held it in their hearts, and you don't want that to fester, so you want to build relationship, you want to repair relationship, and that's what we do during this time. And we tonight change the mantles on our Torah scrolls and our bima cover from our beautiful, colorful mantles and cover to white, because white, obviously, symbol of purity. But also because this time period, and particularly on Yom Kippur, and on Yom Kippur we especially try to make a point of wearing white, because Yom Kippur you are supposed to approach it as if it is your last day in life. And because a shroud is white, so we wear white to remind us that we want to approach that day as if we were approaching our last day. And so we change all of our mantles to white as a symbol of that process of trying to find forgiveness and find that sort of fresh slate, that starting over that we get to do every year. And that's really one of the gifts of Yom Kippur, is that opportunity to start fresh every year. So we start our service tonight on page 105. Last sliver of the moon, the waning crescent, small and slender, glowing in the east at the end of the journey. A curve of silver, barely there, that fades away with the dawn. Faintest light the eye can discern, like the soul within me, barely there, waning and weary as the year winds down. At the end of the journey, the old moon flickers out and darkness awaits the new. Now in the stillness, we can feel it being born. Remind us, the horizon will be bright again. The waxing crescent will rise, heal our hearts, gather us in from the darkness, restore the light within us. Or zarua la tzadik ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik ulishrei lev simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik ulishrei lev simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance and joy for the pure of heart. We continue on page 106. The psalmist sang, "At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise. And so we come to this hour of Selichot under the canopy of night to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives. We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to our people everywhere, the whole house of Israel. And our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet hardest of all is the inward gaze, the return to ourself, the honest reckoning of the soul, the cheshbon hanefesh. We ask how to account for selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger, how to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause, how to own up to it all and find our way back with integrity, in peace. We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when? On the bottom of 108, Esa Einai. Esa Einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, Osei shamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, Osei shamayim va'aretz. I lift my eyes to the mountains, from where will come my help? My help comes from the Eternal, the maker of heaven and earth. On page 110, Hanishama lach v'haguf v'olecha, chusa al amalach. The soul is yours, the body is your work. Have mercy on your creation. Let us take a few moments for your own personal thoughts and reflections. We'll continue on page 113. On page 113, we are taught days are scrolls. Write on them only what you want remembered. But we remember our weakness, and our days bear the mark of all that went wrong. On this night, we have hope in the one who sustains us. Let's continue responsively. Though we stumble and falter, you promise forgiveness. If we stray from the truth, you do not forsake us. If we sink to the depths, your mercy uplifts us. If our urges betray us, your compassion is endless. If we distance ourselves, you do not disdain us. If we abandon your teachings, still you embrace us. If we seek you sincerely, your presence surrounds us. If we pray from the heart, you listen with yours. Though we stumble and falter, we are blessed by your promise. On page 115, as parents show tenderness to their children, may you show mercy to those who worship you. Like the heavens that tower above the earth, your love is powerful for those who revere you. Liberation is a gift from God, a blessing upon your people. You are the God of all we can perceive, our haven, the God of Yaakov. And you are the God of all that is beyond our perception. The one who has faith in you is fortunate. Show us the way to freedom. On the day we call you, answer us with strength. Hear my cry, God. Listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth I call you. When my heart is faint, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. We continue responsively on page 117. Our God and God of our ancestors, we are your people and you are our God. We are your children and you are our father, our mother. We are the people who serve you and you call us to serve. We are your community and you are our portion. We are your legacy and you are our purpose. We are your flock and you are our shepherd. We are your vineyard and you watch over us. We are your work and you are our maker. We are your beloved and you are our lover. We are your treasure and you are the one we cherish. We are your people and you reign over us. We offer you our words and you offer us yours. So forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. We continue on page 120, and I'd like to invite Lucas Steers up to the ark. And Lucas is going to help us with one of the Torah scrolls, but we have two other Torah scrolls. So I would love to ask for at least two more people to come up and help. Somebody big and strong for the second scroll, somebody who doesn't need to be so big and strong for the third scroll, and anybody else who wants to come up, because there's plenty to do. We have to change the cover, we have to change the mantles, we have to move all the crowns and the breastplates and the yads. There's like tons of things to do. The more the merrier. Come on up. We are going to go over to the ark. Please rise. On page 120. Don't worry about that. I'll make it look. Just watch the crowns. He's good. He's good. He's perfect. You are doing great. Perfect. You're good. You are doing great. Please stand. David, do you think you can get the... Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum B'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed L'Alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata'ah V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to the thousandth generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, and granting pardon. David, you sit here. You sit here. Okay. Now, here's the hard part. I know the little mantle goes on the little Torah, but the other two, I don't know which one goes on which, does it matter? At the same time? Are we doing okay?
There's comparison. Different.
They look the same.
There's a sash in here.
Yes, that one.
That changes also.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you all can sit, because, you know, the souls are sitting, so.
So the yard fell behind the, we gotta get
No idea.
Oh, look. There's an outlet, who knew?
Thought of everything. Yeah, it's right.
That explains why there's some holes on this one. Yeah, so see, this must go this way.
Oh.
So this is here, and this is here.
Do you think that's it? Stand up with it, or?
Is there one for the small?
Oh, I was wondering, I was like, I don't know what this goes to. Thank you, I saw it, and I'm like, I just can't picture where it goes. And then those ones get put into the plastic. Oh, sure. And cut through all of them. Do all this in the 123. The little scroll has things. All right. David, yeah. I don't know how we're ever gonna get it out there. We need a
He
fishing
says
pole.
maybe it lifts up.
I don't think it does, but okay.
Okay, go back. Am I in the center or the right? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter.
You got yours on the right. Should I put mine in the center?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This might need help.
All right.
See how there's this like, the Torah of the Eternal is perfect, renewing the soul. The testimony of the Eternal is enduring, making the simple wise. The precepts of the Eternal are just, rejoicing the heart. The instruction of the Eternal is lucid, giving light to the eyes. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikin ba, v'tomechecha meushar. Darcheha, darchei noam, v'chol netivotecha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai, elecha v'nashuva. Hadish, Hadish Yameinu, Hadish Yameinu Kikedem. Please be seated. We continue with Vidui on page 127. As the days of awe draw near, we reach for the infinite. Mindful of our frailty, we seek the holy. Despite our mortality, we carry within us the Ancient of Days. Despite loneliness within, we sense that we belong to a single soul, a spirit that fills the entire universe. Let us find in that universal spirit a new source of strength and significance, more compassion, more generosity, more gratitude for life. Let our hearts be open to self-reckoning, and may we grasp how vital to our lives is teshuvah, the path of return. On this night of forgiveness, we confess our wrongs and take account of sins, failures of judgment, weakness of will. The hour is late, our need to be forgiven, profound. Together on the bottom of the page, our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence, and when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together we confess. Together we take responsibility. On page 128 and 29, we continue responsively. We abused and abandoned. We acted without thinking. We blamed others when we failed. We boasted and belittled. We coveted and corrupted. We coerced the weak to do our will. We drove away those we love with silence. We deceived and denied. We enticed and enslaved. We exalted money and material goods. We fouled air, sea, and land. We flattered and falsified. We gravitated to those who gossip. We gave up our ideals and gave in to our impulses. We hated and humiliated. We held grudges and refused to forgive. We ignored and idolized. We insisted that we were right. We judged others rashly and wrongly. We were jealous and unjust. We killed. We were knowingly unkind. We kept to ourselves in the face of need. We lacked commitment to causes we espoused. We were lazy and we lied. We missed the mark and minimized our mistakes. We mocked what we did not understand. We neglected those who depend on us. We were negative and narcissistic. We overreached and overreacted, too often erupting in outbursts of anger. We poisoned and polluted. We perverted truth for personal gain. We quelled the voice of conscience within us. We quit too soon and quarreled too often. We ridiculed and resented. We refused to accept help. We rationalized our failings and our flaws. We spurned the wisdom of our tradition. We squabbled and scorned. We talked too much or not enough. We traumatized our children with anger. We issued ultimatums and made ugly threats. We uttered untruths and undermined with cynicism. We were vain and vicious. We vilified foreigners and strangers. We wasted time, strength, and talent. We wallowed in self-pity, wished, but did not act. We exploited and expropriated. We expected others to save the world. We yearned too much for prizes and praise and failed to share fully in the joy of Zion reborn. On page 133, surely this mitzvah is not too baffling for you, nor is it beyond reach. It is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart. You shall not threaten the rights of the stranger or orphan. You shall not take a widow's garment in pawn. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt. Justice shall you pursue, that you may live to inherit the land that Adonai your God gives you. You must not remain indifferent. Keep and heed all that I instruct you. Thus it will go well with you and your children after you for all time. This mitzvah is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart. When you reap the harvest in your field and overlook a sheaf, it shall go to the stranger, the orphan, and the widow. You must not remain indifferent. Life and death I have set before you, blessing and curse. Choose life that you and your children may live. Blessed shall you be in your comings and blessed shall you be in your goings. You must not remain indifferent. On page 135, imagine how our lives might be if everyone had even a bit more of the wisdom that comes from seeing clearly. Suppose people everywhere simultaneously stopped what they were doing and paid attention for only so long as it took to recognize their shared humanity. Surely the heartbreak of the world's pain, visible to all, would convert everyone to kindness. And on page 141, Avinu Malkeinu, and then we will conclude with the blowing of the shofar, and that will end our service until Wednesday when we reconvene for Rosh Hashanah. And I would like to ask Helen to join me on the bima. We'll read responsively in Hebrew and English. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Almighty and merciful, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu Chatenu Lifanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Va'al Olaleinu V'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families. Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Dever V'cherev V'ra'av Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger. Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Kol Tsar Umastin Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror. Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovin. Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness. Do a tikia, and then a tikia, and then a tikia gedola.
Okay.
Tikia. Tkiya. Tkiya Gedola.